Welcome again to Introduction to Philosophy. Again, this is Teacher Happy saying, together we will learn and apply philosophy. Are you ready? I hope that everyone is ready today. Let's first review the intersubjectivity. Okay? And for our question number one, appearing to be real or true, but not necessarily being so apparent. Is it seeming? Is it being? Is it speechifying? Or is it personal making? So comment down your answer. All right. Congratulations. Yes, the correct answer is seeming. Number 2 is a concept encompassing objective and subjective features of reality and existence. Okay, so we have also 4 options. Is it seeming, being, speechifying, or personal making? Okay, comment down your answer. All right. So the answer is being. Very good. All right. The number 3 is hearing without listening to what one says. Is it seeming? Is it being, speechifying, or personal making? Okay, comment down your answer. Very good. The answer is speechifying. All right, keep it going. Very good, everyone. The last one, number 4, is a process of fully opening oneself to the other. Is it seeming, being, speechifying, or personal? Okay, comment down your answer again. Very good. Okay, so it is personal making. We got a total of 4 correct answers. Okay, congratulations everyone. And now, let's proceed to our main topic for today. The human person in society. Okay, are you ready? Type in on the comment box right now. I am ready. Now let me just ask this simple question before we start. Okay, I hope this is not that personal, but let me ask this question. Number 1, what is your religion? Okay, very good. Again, we do have different religions, so it doesn't really matter if you don't want to to give your information about what your religion is. That is fine, no problem. But again, this is just a part of our short activity before we start. So, may I know what is your religion? Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Some might type Christian, some might type Catholic, okay, some might type born again, some might Muslims. Okay, so good. Next, my question is this: if just in case, okay, I do go to this church, good church, uh, Catholic church, or whatever church is this. Okay, so does it make me Christian when I go to this Catholic church? Okay, so what is your answer? Does going to this church make me Christian? Okay, we'll see. Thank you so much for all of your response. Some might say yes, some might say no. Okay? And okay, so if I am an ICT student, does it make me a hacker? Yes or no? Just a guess. Okay. For all of your comments, Very good. And this one, what about this one? If I am a network marketer, does it make me a scammer? Okay, so it is prevalent nowadays. Okay, so just type in yes or no. Okay, thank you so much for all of your responses. And may I ask, what is your hobby? Among all of these options, okay, do you play games? Whatever game it is, you can type in. Do you do you do you buy or do you drive a bike? Okay, is it biking? Is it eating? Right, I like that one as well. Eating. Okay, reading books. That's good. Is it one of your hobby? Watching movies. What kind of movies? Action, drama, comedy. So type it in. What about working out? Are you into physical fitness? Okay, that's good. And are you into singing or playing musical instrument? Me, I do play guitar and also I do sing. Okay, and another option here as your hobby may be surfing the net. Okay, and maybe nothing. Okay, all right. So type in all of your comments down there. If uh, the one or your hobbies not listed, you can type in on the comment box right below. Okay, so thank you so much for all of your comments. Okay, I really appreciate. So some might say playing games like Mobile Legends. Some might be saying watching movies like Korean novellas. Okay, so we do have different hobbies. Okay, do have different ways to make our time pass. Okay, and now moving for the next topic. So, what class do you think your family belongs to? Okay, so just your opinion. What do you think? Is it on upper class elite or upper middle class, or is it lower middle class, or is it on a working class, or number five, is it poor? Okay, thank you so much for all of your comments, for your honest comments. The next, what if I live in this kind of mansion? Okay, what if I own this property? If I do have this property, where do you think I belong? Is it an upper class elite, upper middle class, lower class, working class, or the poor? Type in your comment down below. Okay, thank you so much. So many of you might answer upper class elite. So yes, of course, if I do own this mansion, a big lot or a big land, then I might be part of the upper class, the elite class. Okay, thank you so much for all of your participation. Now another question. Are we transformed by the different society we belong, or we transform the society we belong? A good question. Another question is, do we need to change for the society, or do we need to change the society? Another question, do we need to fit into the society, or do we need to make the society fit for us? Okay, thank you for your comment. In your current situation, are you the one who adapt to changing society, or the one who influence to change a society? Believe me, we will able to answer all of this question right after our discussion. So be ready, prepare your notes and pens to jot down all the important details of our topic for today. Okay, so let's start. Individual form societies by sharing the same interests and hobbies with the goal of spreading kindness to the others, with the purpose of expressing oneself and with the purpose to belong. Individuals that transform by society in a way that their decision and principles will be affected and will be transformed in a good way to somehow boost their morale and well-being. So that's the reason why you have different hobbies. We have different hobbies, okay? With other people, it might be the same for them. You or your classmate might have the same hobby. So that will somehow boost your morale. It means that you are not alone having that kind of hobby. You were actually, I guess, motivated, knowing that, hey, I'm not just the one who's into biking. I'm not just the only one into making the hobby of eating food. Okay, so that somehow give you a bit of confidence. That somehow boosts your morale. Is that correct? Okay, that you're not the only one. Okay, so that's a good point. And what is society? Philosophical analysis, society may be defined as that permanent union of men who are united by models of behavior that are demanded by some common end, value, or interest. Analyzed semantically, the term denotes a union of one kind or another. How individual form societies and how individual are transformed by society. So first, we do really need to know what is the history, okay, of the changes of our society. What are the different types of society based on the history? Our first type of society based on history is the hunting and gathering society. It is the earliest form of society of human being. It is smallest in size. It is more of family bands. Most time spent looking for food. So since they are looking for food, they are very nomadic. Meaning to say, they transfer from one place to the other to hunt for food. That is nomadic. They don't have permanent address. And they are very low in developing division of labor. So there is no division of labor. Everyone do things they wanted to do. Okay? Everyone is hunting. Okay? There is no really division of labor. And longest lasting society. Okay? For about 99% of all societal time is about 59 minutes and 51 seconds on the societal time clock. Meaning to say, they are the smallest of a size, but the sociality, okay, the relationship lasts longer. Okay? So that is longest lasting society, the hunting and gathering. Number two, we also have the Horticultural Society. They're bigger compared with the hunting and gathering. Okay, because it is as big as a village. It is less than 100 inhabitants to several hundreds. Their forms are family clans and others, and there is already domestication of plants and animals. Meaning to say, they do grow their own plants, and they also learn pasture some animals for them to be able to control the food that they will be able to gather. Okay, and they are semi-nomadic. They're not really that into moving places because they already have learned how to cultivate plants and to take care of animals. Okay, and food production is major social effort. They into food production, and division of labor evolves especially by gender. So usually, women tend to gather the vegetables, the cultivated plants, and usually the men, okay, are the one who's hunting outside. And religious and military leaders roles. There is already leadership on this kind of society. And for about 3.6 seconds on the social time clock. So they don't really spend much time, okay, on social activity. The next one, the third one, is Agrarian Society. Develop large-scale agriculture, large societies with large cities, multi-ethnic society, large division of labor, farming technology roles, government, religion, business, And peasants are the largest class, which about 50% or more population. And 5.2 seconds on the societal time clock. So it is much smaller now. So agrarian society are richer because they have a larger land. And they were able to learn how to use now the tools for farming. Okay, so it is way advanced to horticultural society. Then the fourth one is what we call the industrial society. Most developed form of human society, nation, states, megapopulation, metropolis, advanced technology in many fields. Less than 10% of population is involved in food production. And very detailed division of labor, gender roles remain. Enormous capacity to destroy other societies. And less than 1 second old on the societal time clock. So this is the industrial machinery. They are into production of many things that is used by many human beings. Okay, like car, like houses. So that is now the industrial society. Then lastly is what we call the post-industrial society. In sociology, the post-industrial society is the stage of society's development when the service sector generates more wealth than manufacturing sector of the economy. If we're going to compare post-industrial society to industrial, post-industrial is more of service generator. It is not more on industrial or product generator compared to industry. So nowadays, if you know what call center is more of services. They are outsourcing the service to call center. It is more of services. Okay, and it is one of the largest, biggest industry who's giving off works or jobs here in Philippines. The BPO or the business processing outsourcing. So that is post-industrial society. It is more on service. Those are the five types of society based on history. Hunting and gathering society, horticultural society, we have agrarian society, we also have industrial and the post-industrial society. And now, number 2 objective, we need to compare and contrast different forms of societies and individualities. Example so there are main 3 different forms of societies, and they are named as agrarian, industrial, and virtual societies. There are the forms. Earlier it is the type, now it is the form. So an agrarian society focuses its economy primarily on agriculture and cultivation of large fields. This distinguishes it from the hunter-gathering society, which produces none of its own food, and horticultural society, which produces in small gardens rather than fields. So that is the agrarian. And number 2 is industrial society. In sociology, industrial society is a society driven by the use of technology to enable mass production, supporting a large population with a high capacity for division of labor, such as structure developed in the Western world in the period of time following the Industrial Revolution, and replace the agrarian society of the pre-modern, pre-industrial age. Industrial societies are generally mass societies and may be succeeded by an information or virtual society. They are often contrasted with traditional society. And last one, for the form, is the virtual community. So virtual communities are social aggregation that emerge from the net when enough people carry on those public discussion long enough with sufficient human feelings to form webs of personal relationship in cyberspace. Again, those are 3 forms of society. Again, it is agrarian, industrial, and the virtual. So you know the differences. Again, agrarian, there are more of people, okay, they are distinguished from hunter and gathering society because agrarian produces its own food. They produces what they gathered. Okay, so that is the agrarian society. It's more on planting and livestock. The industrial, it is more of manpower, creating or more on production of many things that is usable by the society. Like they are creating furniture, they are more of creating some, some appliances. That is industrial. And virtual communities, they are more of people exchanging information in the information technology age. So it is the now generation, virtual communities. Okay, so I hope that you're able to get it. So thank you so much. Next is number 3 objective. We need to explain how human relations are transformed by social systems. So the question is, what is this social systems, right? So humans are the most social species in our planet, and that's why almost every human related aspects are influenced by our society and social system. That is according to Aristotle. We are social animals. And similarly, the human relations are also influenced and transformed by the social system. So we have different social systems. So let me give you one of the most common social system. The reason why I asked you the question earlier about what your religion is, because one of the social system, main or common social system is the religion or the different classes. So when I say class, the upper, middle, lower class, that's the class. Okay? So religion and a class are influencing social system components which manipulates the relationship between two people of different religion or class. Example, some religion doesn't permit mutual relationship with non-believers. Okay, do you relate to it? You cannot get a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, or husband with different beliefs. Some other religion do that. Okay? And for class, some class don't allow their children to talk with the lower class of people. Okay? So that is the class and the religion. So that is the reason why the relationship of people is influenced and transformed by the different social system. Okay? And another number 2 is the cultural preferences. Also transform the human relationship in different ways. Like the language. If two people has different language, they might have issue with communication, of course. Okay, the way they talk to them. Okay, the way you talk with other nation. Okay, because of the language. And in other country, okay, the color of the skin is also has a large impact with the relationship. Okay, if your skin is too dark, if your skin is black, okay, and if your skin is white, you are somehow treated differently. Okay, so that's the reason why there is also influence with the cultural preferences. Okay, so that's again, human relationship are influenced by different or transformed by different social. Now, number 4, we need to evaluate the transformation of human relationships by social systems and how societies transform individual human beings. It is the formal structure of role and status that can form in a small, stable group. An individual may also belong to multiple social systems at once. Example of social systems include nuclear family units, which is the basic type or society in a community. We have also communities, nations, college, campuses, corporations, and industry. So we do belong to different societies, right? So the meaning of the transformation of human relationship by social system is we tend to transform ourselves to fit in different social systems. We adapt. Does the word be yourself applies to all social systems? The answer is, can you do what you're doing at your house, in the school, or in your job? I don't think so. So we tend to transform and change ourselves based on the community, based on the society we are moving, based on the society we do belong at that time, at that moment. And that the answer for the question how societies transform individual human being is, or if the individual is now part of the society, meaning he or she is willing to be transformed by the following rules that will bring common goods and boost more. And Aristotle's view and his picture of human nature is that human are social political creature in their natural state of nature. Capabilities for speech or communication and reason foster a cooperative life with others. There is no pre-social state of nature. Humans by nature are social and expand their social organization beyond the family. Together individuals build societies, and the best interest of the city or society is more important than the interest of individual. Okay? And man is a social animal. He always lives in society. Like him, some other creatures such as ants, birds, monkeys, apes also live in a society. Human society in comparison with other society is unique in several ways. And in order to interpret society in wider sense, it is necessary to examine the basic elements or characteristics which constitute society. So these are the elements of the society. The number one is likeness. Likeness of members in a social group is the primary basis of their mutuality. Maybe in the beginning assumed or real common lineage, tribal affinity, family benefit, or the compactness due to a common to time inculcated between and among the members in the group. The feeling of likeness means mutuality, and that means society. McVerf points out comradeship, intimacy, association of any kind of degree would be impossible without some understanding of each by the other. And the understanding depends on the likeness which each apprehends in the other. Likeness is the one element which must have strongly stimulated the group feeling in bringing men, women, and children together. Likeness is the link for mutuality. So that is the one of the basic elements of society is likeness. If you are like with others, then we form society. That's the reason why, if you could still remember, you are part of certain groups or page in a Facebook. The reason why is that because you have the same thing in common, the common goods, what they call common goods. So that's the reason why you tend to form society. Okay, so different likes, different hobbies. Okay, and number two is the reciprocal awareness. Likeness is generative of reciprocity. Once some are aware of the mutual likeness, they certainly differentiate against those who are not like them. The problem of likes and dislikes was concomitant to the social growth. Consciousness of this kind alone could make sense of likeness. All social action is based on reciprocal response. This alone make possible the we feeling. Okay, so that is the reciprocal awareness. And number three is the differences. Sense of likeness is not always sufficient. It alone is not adequate for social organization. This does not exclude diversity of variation. The social structure of humanity is based on the family, which rests upon the biological differences between the sexes, race, men and women. The economic structure of society is economic activities of people are different or dissimilar. The culture of society prosper with the differences in thoughts, ideas, viewpoints, etc. No two individuals are alike in their nature, and they differ from each other in respect of their interests, capabilities, abilities, and tendencies. These differences do not imply mutual conflict. Instead, by it, the organization of society is further strengthened. A 100% organized society is not possible. It is a myth. Society to run smoothly, there must be some differences. If people were exactly alike, their social relationship would be very much limited. There would be a little reciprocity, little give and take. They would contribute very little to one another. A society based exclusive on likeness or uniformity is bound to lose in socialities. Life would be boring, monotonous, prosaic, and uninteresting if differences are not present. We cannot imagine a society in which all people are adults, or all old, or all young. Having realized the chaotic state of society, the importance of differences will be apparent. And differences subordinate to likeness, actually. So society means likeness, but the contrary of the statement is not true. Differences is necessary to society, but it by itself does not create society. Difference is subordinate to likeness. Mac versus primarily, likeness and secondary differences create the greatest of all social institutions. The division of labor, there were evolved conflicting management mechanism to solve the differences, yet despite it, they were subordinated to the good of the totality. And number 4, interdependence. Society implies interdependence. It is another essential element to constitute society. It is not possible for a human being to satisfy his desire in isolation. He cannot live alone. He needs the help of others for his survival. Society fulfills all the needs of the people. For example, the institution of family rests on the biological interdependence of sexes. None of the two sexes is completely by itself, and therefore, each seeks fulfillment by the aid of the other. This fact of independence is very much visible in the present day society. Today, not only countries but also continents depend upon one another. Likewise, community, social groups, and nations are also interdependent. Number 5, cooperation is also another essential element to constitute societies. Without cooperation, no society can exist. If the members of the society do not work together for the common purpose, they cannot lead a happy and comfortable life. Cooperation avoids mutual destructiveness and results in economy. In the words of P. Gisbert, cooperation is the most element process social life without which society is in. For cooperation, for want of cooperation, the entire fabric of society may collapse. It is the very basis of social life. H. Coley has rightly remarked, cooperation arises when men realize that they have common interests. So great is the realization of the necessity of cooperation on the part of every society. Kropotkin says it is difficult to survive without cooperation. Last one, conflict. Number 6. George Simuel maintained that a conflict-free harmonious society is practically an impossibility. There is no denying the fact that society requires for its formation and growth both form harmony and disharmony, cooperation and conflict. Mac rightly states that cooperative cross by conflict marks society where it is built. And we are one body but many parts. Okay? And there is one body, but it has many parts, but all its many parts make one body. It is the same with Christ. We are all baptized by one Holy Spirit, and so we are formed into one body. It didn't matter whether we are Jews or Gentiles, slaves or free people, we are all given the same spirit to drink. So the body is not made up of just one part. It has many parts. I suppose the foot says, I am not a hand, so I don't belong to the body. By saying this, it cannot stop being part of the body. And suppose the ear says, I am not an eye, so I don't belong to the body. By saying this, it cannot stop being part of the body. If the whole body were an eye, how could it hear? If the whole body were an ear, how could it smell? God has placed each part in the body just as He wanted it to be. If all parts were the same, how could there be a body? As it is, there are many parts, but there is only one body. Okay, so the eye can say the hand, I don't need you. The head can say to the feet, I don't need you. In fact, it is just the opposite. The parts of the body that seems to be weaker are the ones who can't do without. The parts that we think are less important, we treat with special honor. The private parts aren't shown, but they are treated with special care. The parts that can be shown don't need special care, but God has put together all the parts of the body, and He has given more honor to the parts that didn't have any. That way, the parts of the body will not take sides. All of them will take care of one another. If one part suffers, every part suffers with it. If one part is honored, every part shares it in its joy. You are the body of Christ. Each one of you is a part of it. We we are part of whole. We have weakness that might be a strength of others. We might have strength that might be weakness for others. No man is an island. So use your strength to help the weak. So I hope that you were able to understand our topic for today. Okay, so thank you so much. Please do comment down below what what is your weakness and what is your strength to contribute to society. Okay, and thanks so much for watching FB live stream, Valenzuela FB live stream. And again, this is Teacher Happy saying, together we will learn and apply philosophy. See you on next Introduction to Philosophy topic. God bless.